Water is the essence of wetness.
Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be guaranteed ripping 5 cards from my opponent's hand, and this is guaranteed with this hand, and it's guaranteed with a lot of hands in this deck. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you a more efficient deck list because this is very combo heavy. You know, we're relying on our opponent having no interaction, but we're going to make him discard 5, so let's show off how it's done. All right, now first thing you're going to do is you're going to have a copy of Deep Sea Diva in hand, and you're going to have any level 4. Does not matter what the level 4 is, what color it is, what type, what attribute, does not matter. So let's make sure we got the Deep Sea Diva. We are going to banish a card from our hand with Small World. We're going to banish this Gishki Abyss, and from the deck we're going to banish a Bridge. Now this is not necessary for this deck list if you want to play it on ladder. This is just to make it ultra consistent, so we have I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies of Deep Sea Diva. All right, so let's add the Diva to hand, and now we are ready to combo. So what do we do first? We're going to Deep Sea Diva. Deep Sea Diva is going to activate, and we're going to summon the Prince. If you have not played Atlanteans, you're going to need 1 copy of Prince to do this. I'll show it off. All right, so we send Atlantean Dragoons to the graveyard and add Atlantean Dragoons to the hand. And that Dragoons in the graveyard is going to trigger, and that is going to give us a Deep Sea Minstrel. Now keep in mind, we so far have only actually used 1 card. This is like Deep Sea Diva on her own has gotten us this far. So we are going to discard the Dragoons that we added to hand, and this is the first opportunity we have to take a peek at our opponent. Now opponent already could have Ash Blossomed or used Imperm on the Deep Sea Diva, and obviously Max C is going to make this not effective at disrupting your opponent by making them discard their whole hand because they're going to redraw as many cards, but that's all good. So we get a peek at our opponent's hand. This will stop a Nibiru, so if opponent has Nibiru, you can stop Nibiru before they get a chance to activate. So we are going to shuffle this Tricky into the exile zone, and it is important and it is necessary to do this for this combo to work. Next thing, Dragoons was discarded, so that lets us search for the Moulin Glacia. Moulin Glacia to the hand. Next thing we're going to do is summon a Tatsunoko. Tatsunoko with the Prince and the Diva. Going to make that Tatsunoko right there. Nice and adorable. And now we have exactly 5 water monsters in the graveyard, which is necessary for us to summon the Moulin Glacia. So let's get summoning. Make our opponent discard 2 cards. So they're at -2 right now, -3 technically, but this card's going to go back to their hand. Now I'm not playing a trick, all right? I know this card's coming back to their hand. We're going to make sure they discard it. All right, we're serious about making opponents discard cards here. Next thing we're going to do is make a Deep Sea Prima Donna. Now that is why it is necessary to have a level 4 in the hand. Now this deck list has a lot of ways to get level 4s in the hand, including Gishki Vision, which you can discard to get the Gishki Cyclone from the deck, which is a level 4. So we got a lot of ways to get level 4s, so very easy, very consistent. Well, let's make that Prima Donna using the Dragoons in hand and the Tatsunoko. Summon it in defense mode. And now, Deep Sea Prima Donna has an effect. We can target a banished card opponent controls, return it to their hand, and then we get to special summon a level 4 lower water from the deck. So if opponent has a Nibiru, you're going to want to not do this, obviously, because they're going to immediately Nibiru you. But you know what? We're going to pretend opponent doesn't have Nibiru. We're going to summon Gishki Grimness from the deck to the field. The zones don't really matter in this combo. 1 zone matters, but we'll talk about it later. All right, so Gishki Grimness, and now we summon Abyss from the deck. Abyss from the deck, and Abyss is going to search. And now the search doesn't matter that much, but you're going to want to search for a Vision or a Gishki Shadow. So we're going to search for a Gishki Vision here. Gishki Vision. And now we're going to make a Spray Elf. And Spray Elf you're going to want to make using the Gishki Abyss, which has to go to the graveyard, and the Moulin Glacia. Very important that you don't use the Gishki Grimness. You need to leave that on the field. All right, so we're going to Spray Elf now. Spray Elf is going to get back the Gishki Abyss. And Gishki Abyss is going to activate. And now we are going to add the Shadow to hand. So we added a Vision and we added a Shadow. So now we're going to activate both of them. We're going to get the Gishki Aqua Mirror, which we happen to already have in hand. And that is going to happen with this build of the deck because it is ultra consistent. And now we're going to activate our Vision, and we're going to get a copy of the Gust Kraken. So far, we've done all of this with just Deep Sea Diva and one level 4 from the hand. So we've gotten this far, and we've only used those 2 cards. So now we're going to use our Aqua Mirror. Aqua Mirror is going to summon the Gust Kraken, and that's going to tribute the Gishki Grimness on the field. That's why it's important to use it, leave it on the field, because we can use its effect as the entire ritual material. So now we get to summon the Gust Kraken, and that's going to be card number 3 from the opponent's hand. Now we get to look at 2 cards, take one of their cards away. Opponent's got a Raigeki Break. They got the Tricky. We already know their whole hand though, because we saw it with Minstrel earlier. Alright, so what do we do next? Well, we need this in the graveyard, and we need this in the graveyard. So we are going to make the Marincess Coral Anemone using the Gust Kraken and the Abyss. Make that right here. And now we are going to activate the Aqua Mirror in the graveyard. Aqua Mirror in the graveyard is going to add back the Gust Kraken to our hand. And now what we're going to do is activate our Coral Anemone and summon the Abyss for the last time to the field. And that is going to search. And depending on your hand configuration, all right, you're always going to search for the shadow here. But depending on your hand configuration, at this point, you will either be able to make them discard 1 more card, or you'll be able to make them discard 2 more cards. Now, we have the ability to make them discard 2, so we're going to activate the Vision. And we already have an Aqua Mirror in hand, so now we're going to get the Photo Mirror. Photo Mirror is going to activate. And we're going to summon our Gust Kraken to the field. Gust Kraken on the field. Make them discard, so they only have shuffle 1 card back. It's even better than discarding. Shuffle 1 card back into the deck. So now they have only 1 card left. Opponent is down to 1. And at this point, if your hand, basically, your last search with Abyss will let you structure your hand such that you should be able to do 1 more summon. So we have the Vision still, so we can activate Vision and search for the ritual monster, and then use our Gishki Aqua Mirror that we have in hand. But what if, you know, you're short a piece, or you don't know what piece you need to search for with your last Abyss? Well, we have 1 more draw, because we can turn these 2 into a Croco Dragon. Get Croco Dragoning. Croco Dragon is going to activate, and this is going to let us draw a card. And we can also chain block it with Ash. So if opponent's last card is Ash Blossom, they forgot to use it this whole time. We can chain block it with Deep Sea Prima Donna, shuffling a banished card back into the deck. So we have this banished Gishki Abyss, so we'll just shuffle that back into the deck. And we will not activate the effect of the Croco Dragon to discard 2 cards and pop a card on the field, because that would be very bad for us. There we go, drawing an additional card, so now we have another Aqua Mirror. So we're going to activate this Gishki Vision, search for our last copy of the Gust Kraken, and now we can use Aqua Mirror Tribute the Gust Kraken. And there you go, that is making our opponent discard 5 cards. Well, even better, because 5 cards shuffle, most of the cards shuffle back in, 3 shuffle back in, 2 in the graveyard. Very consistently. I'll show you the consistency deck list, and then I'm going to show you the competitive deck list, and we're going to try and play it on ladder. See if we can make anyone on ladder discard 5 cards. I am very doubtful, which is why I'm doing this against the bot, because opponents will concede before you make them discard all their cards. They're going to be like, you know what, I don't want to have this bad of a time. I am going to reject your attempt to make me discard all my cards by conceding. So here we go. We even have interactions still, because we can activate Croco Dragon to pop a card on the field. So whatever opponent's last card is, we can pop it. Also, Sprite Elf means that on our opponent's turn, if you know somehow you lost a card during this, you can summon the Gishki Grimness, get the Abyss back from the graveyard, and that is going to search for another Gishki, which means you'll have an additional card in hand to discard with your Croco Dragon. So we didn't even use our whole hand. We still got 2 cards left. Beautiful. We even have the ability to Gishki Aqua Mirror an additional time and make our opponent discard a 6th card, which they don't have right now, but you know, if they did, we could make them discard it. So thanks for watching the combo. Let's get to the ranked games after we take a look at the deck list. Alright, so here is the deck list. That all this does is the hand rip combo. We don't have any fluff. There's no extra cards in this extra deck. Obviously, you know, we could be playing a lot more extra deck cards. So this is the version of the deck that is just like I want to do the combo as consistently as possible. All right, we got 2 copies of Prince in case we brick by drawing one. Really, you only need 1 Prince in the deck. We got triple Deep Sea Diva, 2 copies of Gishki Abyss. Again, you just don't want to have this in hand because it needs to be in the deck to summon. We got triple Vision. Now, this card is very useful because you can discard it to search for a ritual monster. We also got 1 copy of Heavy Infantry. Now, the Heavy Infantry you don't need to have as well. The issue is if you, for some reason, start with 2 copies of Dragoons in hand, you need to have 2 Atlanteans in the deck to activate Nephthybus's effect. So we have a Heavy Infantry in the deck in case that happens. All right. We also have triple Grimness. Grimness, great card. Now, you don't actually need to have it in hand. It's pretty useful because you can tribute it as ritual material. So it lets you extend if you're trying to make sure you do this combo and rip 5 cards from your opponent's hand, which I do not recommend for a rank ladder, but you can give it a shot if you want. 1 Deep Sea Minstrel to take a peek and basically make the combo work. We got triple Gishki Shadow, again like the Vision. The fact that it discards itself is really key for this deck to search for the ritual spell because of the Deep Sea area. If you have a hand with Shadow and the area, you just activate, search for a ritual spell, and then Deep Sea Aria, banish this from the graveyard, and now you have Deep Sea Diva with no monsters in the graveyard, meaning you can just do that exact combo I showed you, and you're all good. We got triple copies of Atlantean Dragoons. We have 1 Moulin Glacia, a single Cyclone. Now this we have in the deck because you can discard your Vision to turn Vision into a level 4 to make sure you have a level 4 in hand to make that Prima Donna. That's why we got the 1 copy of the Cyclone. The other great thing about Cyclone is it's a bridge for Small World. So, you know, if you want to make this super consistent, we got the Cyclone. We got 2 copies of the Gust Kraken. You probably could also play 3 of it, but only 2 are necessary for this combo to work, so that's why I'm only playing 2. We got triple Deep Sea Area. We got triple Small World. We got triple Focused Aqua Mirror, and Small World and Focused Aqua Mirror are both great. Small World can basically turn into anything. Focused Aqua Mirror can turn into a level 4, it can turn into a Grimness, it can turn into a ritual spell by searching the Gishki Shadow, it can even turn into a Gust Kraken. So this card, it's basically a wild card for your combo. You have this in hand, you are looking good. Alright, we also have triple copies of the Aqua Mirror and triple copies of the Photo Mirror. It just makes it easier because if you happen to have one of these pieces in your opening hand, you don't have to search it one time, so just more consistency. Alright, and in the extra deck, the only cards you need to make opponent discard their entire hand is Tatsunoko, Deep Sea Prima Donna, the Croco Dragon, not even necessary. This is just a flex slot, so really only 4 cards needed. We got the Coral Anemone and the Spray Elf, and that's all you need to make opponent shuffle their entire hand back into the deck and even have a piece of interaction with the Croco Dragon. Alright, now I'm going to make this deck like competitive so we can play it on the ladder. We're still going to have the ability to do the discard 5, but we're going to try and make this deck a bit playable because right now this dies to any hand trap at all that exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! So obviously not going to be super consistent, and opponents, they're probably going to concede when you start wombo comboing anyway, so let's make sure we can actually do our combo consistently through some interruption. Alright, on to Diamond Rank. We are going to see if this is a real deck, if we can make opponents discard 5 cards, and if you like the channel, make sure to subscribe. Alright, let's get going. Now, sadly, this hand does not have Deep Sea Diva. I'll show you the deck list for, you know, using on the ladder at the end of the video, but I did take out some cards and add in some hand traps and stuff to make it more consistent and actually playable. Sadly, it does mean your odds of drawing the Diva and the combo is reduced, but that does not mean you don't have good lines. So let's see what we can do with just regular Gishkis and Atlanteans. Probably won't be able to rip our opponent's entire hand here, but we're gonna see what sort of board we can make. Just summon the Grimness here, fetch the Shadow, link 2 into the Spray Elf. Spray Elf going to get back the Abyss. Abyss going to search for a Gishki Vision. Activate the Shadow, search for a ritual spell. Activate the Vision, search for, just kidding, activate the Focused Aqua Mirror, search for the Narrow-Manus, and that means we can use the Vision in hand to summon the Narrow-Manus, which obviously will not make us pay any life points, which is nice. Alright, let's get that Narrow-Manus on field. Narrow-Manus going to activate summon a monster from the graveyard, and the fun part about this deck is it does give you a lot of options. You know, you always have a lot of lines. So we're going to go to IP Masquerena. We're going to set this Call by the Grave, and we do not run the trap in this build because we are really trying to make our opponent discard 5 cards, so we didn't have room for a trap to reuse our Narrow-Manus, so we're just going to reset the Aqua Mirror on field and pass the opponent. Alright, so we're not making them discard any cards. But you know what? We'll see if this is enough. And in the next game, we'll make them discard it. I'm sure we'll make them discard the whole hand. All right, opponent with a Feather Duster, popping our Aquamirror and our Call by the Grave. We are going to activate Sprite Elf right now. Get the Grimness on field. Get the Search from the Abyss from the deck. Then we can IP Masquerade into whatever we want. Grimness can activate. Get the Abyss. Abyss going to search for the Shadow. Opponent activating Pressured Planet, getting a Cashier Unicorn. Summoning the Unicorn, and we are going to link into Appaloosa, and opponent is going to activate their Cashier Unicorn. I mistook this, alright. I thought this was the effect to search. This is actually the effect to banish a card from our extra deck. So I probably should have let this one resolve, but it is all good. We're going to negate it anyway. Negate with the Narmanis, pop that, shuffle it back in the deck. Opponent activating the Fenrir and attacking. Sadly, Fenrir has enough attack points because of the Pressured Planet that it will not trade with the Appaloosa after we use one negate. So we lose all the Appaloosa negates, but the opponent has also lost their battle phase, and we spun back one of their cards. So hopefully they can't go full Kashtira on us. And we do have a lot of pieces for going, you know, into our next turn, so we're not out of it yet. Opponent searching for the Rise Heart. Rise Heart gets summoning. Are we just going to see the Shangri-Ira pass? That is what I would like, but no. Opponent has the Birth. Birth going to special summon back the Kashtira Unicorn, and they activate it, and I was thinking, oh my god, wait, why? How can they activate it? I already negated this, but I forgot that I negated the Banish from the extra deck, not the Search. So opponent getting the Search. They probably think we really care about our extra deck, but it's all nonsense in there. You would not know what to, like, look at this extra deck, alright, for a second here. Look at this extra deck and tell me, when you look at this, you would know what to banish from this. Everything is this stuff all over the place, alright? Opponent now has a lot of Kashtiras on the field. Searching for a Big Bang. Activating an XZ Summon, making a Material 3, a Rise Heart, which can banish, setting that Big Bang. Alright, well, luckily we got the answer, and it is the Gishki Shadow and any random Gishki Ritual. We're going to activate the Shadow. Hope opponent does not have an Ash Blossom. Thank you. We are lucky. We probably know this is the Big Bang. And now let's just yoink the Rise Heart with our Gishki Necromirror. Opponent stealing back our Gishki Shadow, which is nice because now it goes in the graveyard. Yoink the Rise Heart. Make the Narmanis. Narmanis going to activate Summon from the graveyard. But opponent shuffling with the Kashtira Birth because we activated a spell. All these cards are very powerful, you know, subtly powerful, the Birth. Alright, if you were going to hit something in cash, what would you hit? I know Konami, OCG hit the Fenrir to 0. I think that's a bit harsh. I think Fenrir is okay at 1. We're going to negate it. Fenrir activating, trying to banish our Gishki, so obviously we are going to negate. And, you know, we cleared their board. We used the Gishki Ritual to clear the board. We still got our normal summon, so we're going to give the Deep Sea Diva shot. If this is Big Bang, it will not be activatable. And now I think we can eliminate our opponent's hand once and for all. Couldn't do it on the first turn, but we can do it now. Dragoons to the graveyard, search for Dragoons. Activate Dragoons. Search for a Megalo, because we are going to try and push for lethal here. Necromirror, shuffle back. Alright, why am I doing this? Because I'm looking at the graveyard and I'm saying 1, 2, 3 water monsters. We have the ability to summon the boy Moulin Glacia. Let's activate Megalo, discard 2 water monsters to the graveyard. Both of them are going to search for Sea Serpents. And one nice synergy here is that the Gishki Ritual Searchers are Sea Serpents. This one's a Sea Serpent. Shadow is a Sea Serpent, and so is Vision. Let's get Moulin Glacia, make him discard those 2 cards. Opponent's hand is deleted. Now, you know, stick with me because we're going to do it going first. We're going to make them discard their whole hand. Planet Pathfinder was probably dead, and the redundant Kashtira Birth wasn't doing anything. Let's go into the Baran. Make sure this face down is the Big Bang that we know about. Let's pop it. There we go. And now we will attack twice. Prince going to resummon from the graveyard the Dragoons, and let's get in. Opponent maybe not realizing that we got lethal damage because it only looks like we got 70,200, but we got double attack with the Megalo, and opponent is done. All right, that was good. That was good. That was good, but I think we can do better. Let's go on to the next game. All right, on to the next game, and let's take a look. All right, I think we got it. All right, this hand looks like a hand. We got the Diva. We got a level 4, and we got some random Gishkis. This looks like the sort of hand that can make him discard 5, all right? So let's Deep Sea Diva, except opponent, something's wrong, all right? There's a hang, all right? And I'm really worried about maximum C, so I you know, a fit of incompetence, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to activate my Shadow. Shadow going to activate Search for a Ritual, try and bait an Ash Blossom, other nonsense, and I didn't realize my fatal mistake, all right? But we'll realize it later. Search for the Aquamirror. That's all fine, all right? Deep Sea Diva gets Search. An opponent has no responses. At least they don't seem to have a response. Dragoons to the graveyard, going to search Dragoons to the hand, and now we're going to take a peek at their hand, see what was causing that hang. Let's take a look. Discard the Dragoons. Opponent playing Scareclaw Kashtira, and it is the Scareclaw Kashtira that has a quick effect to summon itself during the main phase. The rest of opponent's hand has no interaction, so no Nibiru, so this is perfect. We got him. All right, we got him. Let's take away that Scareclaw Kashtira, get searching for the Moulin Glacian. I'm thinking, okay, we go into the Synchro, and then we got 5 waters in the graveyard. All right, tragedy has struck, all right, because we have 6 waters in the graveyard because I activated that Gishki Shadow. And the worst part is, if I had realized I could have just activated this Vision, searched for a Ritual, that would have been 5 before I summoned the Tatsunoko. Could have still gone to the Moulin Glacier. So without those 2 discards, we're not going to be able to make him go down to 0. Very sad, but you know what? We're not going to give up. We're going to keep going. Deep Sea Prima Donna. We're going to do the rest of the combo. We can still make opponent discard 2, and you know, we know their whole hand. It's not amazing, so maybe we can salvage this. All right, Gishki Grimness, search for the Abyss. Abyss, get the Vision. Vision, going to activate. Search for the Narrow that's right. Now that I know I can't discard their whole hand, I'm going to want some interaction for their turn, so I'm going to get the negate. Let's Aquamirror. Search for the Gust Kraken, because we are going to still make them discard, just not their whole hand. Aquamirror, search, or a special summon, sorry. Tributing the Grimness. Summon the Narrow summon from the graveyard the Grimness. Link 2 into the Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf activate. Get the Abyss back. Search for a nice little ritual search with the Shadow. Shadow activate. Get the Gishki Photo Mirror. Photo Mirror going to special summon the Gust Kraken from the hand. Take a peek at the opponent's hand. Opponent. We're going to randomly get to the Birth and the Pressured Planet. So we're going to get rid of that Pressured Planet. Send that back into the deck. Marincess Coral, going to give us one last search, and we can use the Ritual spell to add back the Gust Kraken, so we get to another discard. So we did 3 Ritual summons, but we used one of them for the Narrow. So we're not going to go for the full discard yet, but you know what, we're playing to win, alright? We're playing to win, but next time maybe we'll play to make him discard if I can make sure I don't misplay. Alright, Croco Dragon, going to get summoning, draw a card, and also give us the opportunity to pop 2. By discarding, and this is not a once per turn, by the way. Quick effect, discard 2 cards, pop a card on the field. That is not once per turn. So if we got 4 cards in hand, that's 2 pops. Let's activate that Aquamirror. Use the Gishki Vision in hand to summon the Gust Kraken. Take a peek at the opponent's hand. Make him discard another card. We got the Kashtira Unicorn and the Sacred Sword. We're going to get rid of that Unicorn. So we know opponent's hand. I believe it is a Birth. The spell that they discard at level 7, draw 2, and the Kashtira Scareclaw. So we get to set the Aquamirror back to the field, and we're going to pass with Negate, Pop 2, and Sprite Elf to add a card to our hand. Opponent getting rid of the Scareclaw Kashtira to draw 2. Let's activate that Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf, get the Abyss. Search for a Grimness. That's going to give us 2 discards, so that's 2 pops. Alright. Opponent is activating the Birth. We knew about that. Birth going to resummon the Kashtira, and I did think about popping this, but I don't think popping the Birth is really the right play, so that's why we didn't pop it. We're going to wait till they summon the monsters. There we go. Summoning the Kashtira Unicorn, and we're going to wait till they activate. Opponent activating to search, and we're going to negate. With a single Kashtira already on the field, they're not going to be able to summon another one unless they somehow drew the level 4, and looks like opponent's got nothing. They're passing to us, and they are giving up. They know that this is too much value. Alright, but we won, but at what cost? We failed because we didn't make them discard their entire hand, even though we had the ability to. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, on to the next game. I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. If you're a channel member, you know, you can send me an email, ask for a signed card. You know, nobody cares, but you know, that option's there. And if you want to join the channel, it is a great way to support me. Make sure I can afford all the latest very expensive Yu-Gi-Oh cards. All right, let's take a peek at the hand with the Deep Sea Minstrel. Take a peek. Let's see what they got. Opponent, in response, activating Thunder Dragon Dark. Now, this is fine because we can just, take away whatever card they add to hand. But we got this Call by the Grave, so we're going to take the opportunity to get a free discard by Call by the Graving that search from the Thunder Dragon Dark. So opponent discarding a card for us. It's going to make our job easier. But this hand, I think, already had the ability to make them discard 5. But, we got to make sure we don't mess up, all right? Take a peek at the opponent's hand. An opponent, all right? It was quick, all right? You didn't see. But they had a Kashtira. They had, I think, like a Pearly and the driver, right? They had the driver in hand. That's what we're going to take. Yep, Psyframe driver. You really don't want to draw this one. So, I feel bad for the opponent, but at the same time, we're going to take that away. All right, driver gone. Activate the Dragoons. Mooling Glacia in the hand. Tatsunoko on the field, and now we got 5. Special summon, make them discard 2. Opponent down to 1 card in hand. Pearly is gone. Kashtira is gone. Who knows what opponent is doing? They got a lot of nonsense going on in that hand. Let's get the level 4 so we can Tatsunoko into the Prima Donna. Prima Donna going to add back the Psyframe driver. That is a complete brick to the opponent's hand. Summon the Grimness. Grimness going to get the Abyss. Abyss going to activate to search for the Gust Kraken. We are going to link 2 into Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf going to activate, get it back the Abyss. Abyss going to search for the Shadow. We're going to use Grimness and the Aquamirror to summon Gust Kraken for 1 time. That is Gust Kraken number 1. Gust Kraken number 1, take a look. And you know what? Opponent last card, Pressure Planet and the Psyframe driver. Now, we could, all right, link these off into Marincess Coral Anemone, send the Gust Kraken back to the hand, and get another search with the Abyss. Or we just could use the Photomirror to get rid of the Psyframe driver. But why get rid of this beautiful Psyframe driver that our opponent bricked with when we could just leave it in the hand? So we're going to take away that planet. And, we have the option to make them discard. It is very easy, very easy. We literally could do it right here. We could activate Photomirror, make them discard that last card. But we are going to instead get a negate because, I'm just being rude, all right? I'm being rude. Sometimes the path to victory is better than making your opponent discard their entire hand. Let's get that Gishki to hand. Let's summon the Naramanus. And, I could have, if I had another link too, I could have actually linked and used the Abyss to search for another ritual and summon the Gust Kraken, discarded their last card anyway, but, we know it's the driver. We don't need to do that. Let's get the Grimness. Special summon the Croco Dragon. Draw us the last card. We got the Gust Kraken in hand. Set the Aquamirror to the field. An opponent has 1 card in hand. We know it's a brick. We could have made them discard it. It does not matter what their last card is. They are done. Opponent destroyed. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. All right, make sure to stick around to the end. I will be doing an episode of the Sink or Swim. We got a lot of fan videos coming in, and, maybe I'll have to do double Sink or Swim tonight. Make sure to show off as many videos as I can. If you want to send me a video to, appear in a future one, a replay to appear in a future video, just send it to my email. It'll be in the video description, and I'll show it off in a future episode of the channel. All right. Opponent activating pot. We're going to negate with Ash. Now, pot's always bait, but you can't really let him pot a greed. So, opponent Planet Pathfindering. We're going to Call by the Grave. We already know it's Kashtira, because Kashtira playing Planet Pathfinder. And looks like opponent had crossouts, so there was no hope for us. Look at us. Bricking with the Dragoons going first. So sad. We have no way to get him in the graveyard, and even if we did, we lost our normal summon. Opponent getting that Pressure Planet anyway. Through the interaction, summoning the Kashtira Unicorn, and we are in massive trouble here. All right, Kashtira is very efficient. This is going to be probably a slaughter. Now, we don't have to give up hope because Necromirror lets us search, or lets us tribute an opponent's monster. So if opponent ends on a big, Rise Heart, we can tribute it and believe in ourselves. So opponent attacking Dragoons goes to the graveyard. We got to search with Arya, which means we can get any Gishki. Opponent getting rid of our Zeus. Going into the Shangri-Era and ending the turn. All right, so Shangri-Era, a Unicorn, and a Fenrir. That is pretty rough. Maxi showing up just in time. All right. Opponent Activating Shangri-Ear to summon another Cashier from the deck. We are going to draw one with that Maxi. Cashier is summoning the... There you go. Getting that Cashier. And you know what? The pieces are starting to come together. We got a way to search Deep Sea Diva. We got the Necro Mirror that lets us, you know, tribute an opponent's monster. Meaning we can tribute this Fenrir, stop him from banishing our card. You know, I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe that we have a chance. Alright? Opponent milling a bunch of cards, but it does not matter. Alright? Oh no. Okay, well, they banished our Deep Sea Prima Donna. I don't know how opponent knew to hit that. That was a very critical card that we actually wanted to do full combo on them, but you know what? It's fine. We still got Deep Sea Diva plays. Maybe we can make a very difficult to destroy Psychic End Punisher. Let's activate the Necro Mirror, get rid of the Fenrir, tribute summoning our Cyclone, which luckily has just enough attack that we do not die. Putting us all the way down to, I believe, 150. Yes, there we go. All the way down to 150 life points. And opponent is shuffling stuff back into the deck. That does not matter. All right, shuffling stuff, or sorry, banishing cards from our graveyard. Does not matter. Opponent zone locking us. And popping the Cyclone, again, does not matter. Deep Sea Diva, we believe in you. Let's get the Deep Sea Diva. Opponent has the Ash Blossom. That is going to be game, all right? We got reverse hand destruction. Our hand is now gone. We have no cards on the field. We have nothing going on, and that is time to run away, all right? But we still believe in ourselves. Let's go on to the next game. All right. We're going to do one last game here. We're going to activate Gishki Vision. We are going to get the Gust Crack in a hand because I think we got it, all right? Deep Sea RA going to let us search for the Deep Sea Diva with the Vision. We got a Call by the Grave to protect. We got a way to get a level 4 with the Focused Aqua Mirror. I think we may have a shot. We already got Gust Kraken in hand. Let's give it a shot, all right? Deep Sea Aria, search for the Diva. Diva get Divan. Summon the Prince. And you've seen this before. We're going to speed it up. Dragoons to hand. Dragoons search for the Minstrel. Minstrel take a peek. All right, Minstrel take a peek. What is opponent doing? They are, of course, playing Kashtira's. They got Birth, Prosperity, Pot of Desires, Rise Heart, Planet Pathfinder. Let's take away a card, all right? Does not really matter what we take because we're going to get rid of their whole hand. We are going to get rid of all of it. Kashtira Birth gone. Dragoons. Search for the Mulan Glacia. We didn't mess it up this time. Special summon Tatsunoko. Mulan Glacia, make them discard 2. Opponent's Planet Pathfinder is gone. Opponent's Pot is gone. Let's focus Aqua Mirror to get the level 4. All right, now we didn't have to search for the Cyclone. We could have searched for anything. That's level 4. But Cyclone, is, you know, that's the one we're getting. All right, let's summon the Deep Sea Prima Donna. Activate Prima Donna effect. Summon the Grimness from the deck. Grimness, activate, get the Abyss. Abyss, get the Gishki Shadow. Gishki Shadow, activate, get the Aqua Mirror. Aqua Mirror, tribute our Grimness to summon the Gust Kraken. Take a peek at 2 cards from the opponent's hand. Pot of Prosperity and the Rise Heart. What are we going to take? We are going to take, I think, the Pot. Or I think we left them with the Rise Heart. There's no way to check, actually. Unfortunately, in the replays, it doesn't show you what you took. So we're going to add that Gust Kraken back to hand. Unless it says in the... Does it say in the log? It does not say. All right, it does not say. 1 is returned. It's a mystery. Whatever it was, no one knows. All right. Spray Elf, going to get the Abyss. Add the Gishki Shadow. We're going to activate. Get the Aqua Mirror. And I believe, all right, if I link 2, so I have to give, I think I have to give up the, I think I link 2 into Coral Anemone. Activate, get Abyss. Get a second Gust Kraken. We may be short. I think we're short. We're missing the ability to tribute for the Gust Kraken. We don't have enough ritual material, all right? Unfortunately, the level has to exactly equal 8. If you know of a way to make sure that we turn Deep Sea Prima Donna and an Abyss into a way to tribute for the Aqua Mirror, it'll make this possible to do with just the level 4 and the Deep Sea Diva, I think. But unfortunately, you do have to get a little lucky with your hand. Have everything line up perfectly to make it work out. We do get another draw though, so let's Abyss, search for the Shadow, and I'm gonna activate, get the Photo Mirror. I really should just draw here, because if I, summon the Ravenous Croco Dragon and draw into a piece, I could have searched for the piece that was missing. So maybe a misplay, but Photo Mirror gonna summon the Gust Kraken before I realize, what I could draw. And we're going to send back opponents Kashtira, and they are going to be so sad that they surrender before we finish. So you know what? Like I said, opponents aren't going to let you discard their entire hand. So you know what? I'm going to call this one a victory. Let's go on to Sink or Swim. All right, on to Sink or Swim, and I was sent this replay by Fusion Matrix. Thank you for sending the replay. Let's see if this is a Sink or Swim. And what is this? Kashtira Dragon Links. All right, well, I find Dragon Links to be a very long combo deck, but let's see what wombo combo is going on. All right, Kashtira Fenrir into a maximum C. Now, I want you to wow me with your replays, all right? So I hope that this is a wow me game. Let's find out. Kashtira Rise Heart. Did that Maxi resolve? That Maxi did resolve. So opponent is going to be drawing cards? Is that what's happening right now? Maxi is drawing cards. All right, so we are Maxiing. Okay. All right, so maybe I'm ready to be impressed. Oh, hold on. We're waiting. All right, we're passing with Shangri-Ira and a Fenrir. All right. Let's see what the opponent can do. Maybe the epicness comes from what opponent can do. Opponent Kashtira Shangri-Ira is getting negated with the opponent's Imperm. All right. All right. All right. Things are happening. We're not Dragon Linking, but opponent activating Pot of Extravagance. All right. At the start of your main phase, I didn't realize that. You can activate cards in the standby phase, and you can still activate your Pot. Very cool. I actually did not know that. We're going to banish opponent's graveyard, start zone locking. Okay. Zone is locked. Opponent has a lot of cards in hand. But can they break the Kashtira board of Shangri-Ira? True Sun God. Winged Dragon of Ra. Okay, we got a Chad on the other side. All right, I'm cheering for opponent, though. You know, I appreciate that you're making me cheer for opponent, but no. Oh, this is so sad. The Ra's Disciple got banished by the Fenrir, so you don't have enough materials to tribute your Ra. All right, that is very sad. All right, now, if this is just a meta deck hunting on a poor opponent playing a beautiful jank, I'm going to be very upset. Opponent Ash Blossoming. Negating the Shangri-Ira, but not giving up. True Sun God getting banished. Kashtira is locking more zones. We're searching for the Unicorn. Activating the Chaos Space. Discarding our Rocket Tracer to go into Lubellion. All right, this is very meta. All right, I know you're sending me this, and I'm sure you're proud that you did a good job. And you know you did. You're doing a good job. But opponent is playing beautiful jank. We'll see. All right, we'll see. Maybe opponent pulls it through and you lose, and you sent me this out of respect for the opponent, and then I will be proud. All right. Popping both the Ra's Disciple. Opponent, yes, I believe in you. Guardian Slime. Protecting itself from being destroyed. You're linking into a Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon, which is going to do a lot of burn damage. Attaching a Black Metal Dragon to a material just to boost its attack, and I guess if it gets sent to the graveyard, you search for a Red Eyes. And we got the Starlight Seafurt, which is doing nothing. All right. Brand of Beast is set. Opponent, I believe in you, all right? I believe in you. Brand of Beast summoning the Fenrir, meaning if you activate a monster effect, Fenrir is going to banish. Pot of Extravagance again. Beautiful. Drawing only a single card, though. Okay. Opponent maybe really likes their hand. Oh, wait, no. This is random, isn't it? Do they still have it? We don't know what they banished. We don't know what they banished from their extra deck. But if they banished all their Guardians, their God Slimes, they won't be able to go into the Raw combo. Opponent activating Guardian Slime in the hand because they got damaged by the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. I didn't know it works this way. If you take battle or effect damage, you can special summon the Guardian Slime. All right, opponent. I'm really cheering you on, all right? Kashtira zone locking. Getting negate. Well, opponent is negating the Magnuma. Not sure what that's all about. Magnuma negated. You're down to one monster zone. Oh, no. Oh, this is so rude. You've zone locked them fully. True Sun God can search for Sphere Mode. That was what I was going to say. Opponent search for the Sphere Mode. All right, getting balled. All right. Got hit by the ball. All right, opponent. It's True Sun God getting Millennium Revelation. 0.039%. Monster Reborn. You can send a Divine Monster from me and add a Monster Reborn. This turn, you can special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. Is it happening? Is it happening? It is happening. It is happening. Ra is coming onto the field. Ra, I believe in you. What is this? 1,000. Paying 1,000 to pop itself. What? Why did you pay 1,000 life points to target on the field? Destroy your own Ra because it can't target the Winged Dragon. Is that what happened? You can't attack. Your opponents can't target this card by card effects. I can't believe you fumbled this, all right? All you had to do was just make a big chunky raw and wait. And now you've left your opponent with sphere mode. And probably a million wombo combo pieces. All right, I was really proud of sphere mode opponent. Everything was going great for them with the raw. But now I think literally any monster is going to get lethal here. There's no way this back row is going to save our beautiful opponent who was playing an amazing deck. I think opponent gets the swim, and we're going to give the replay here a sync. I appreciate this, but don't just send me cheesing on beautiful jank. I love jank. Oh, we can't attack. Oh my goodness, there's still hope. True Sun God says monsters that are summoned this turn can't attack. Opponent, I believe in you. Get another sphere mode. No, the Ash Blossom negates the search for the sphere mode. All the cards in the graveyard are banished. And that is definitely lethal now. I think the sphere mode player, they almost had ya. But, oh my god, Ice Barrier. Are they still alive? They haven't died yet. Oh, sphere mode player, I love you so much. It's going to the hand. Are you going to attack with the Masquerena? Going into Metal Flare Dragon. Summoning the Collapse Serpent. But you don't have lethal damage yet. It's another turn. I'm amazed that sphere mode opponent is just doing so good. The Egyptian God Ra holding off this ridiculous meta deck. Delingerous Dragon getting summoned. And, I don't believe... I mean, there's some amazing top deck that could get him out of this situation. We know there's a Guardian Slime in hand. I'm going to believe. I choose to believe. Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon, summoning Red Eyes. We're going to a second Metal Flare Dragon. Summoning the Darkness, getting a Exploder Rocket Dragon. Each player takes 2,000 damage. That's probably going to be lethal, right? You're going to activate this, deal burn damage for lethal. Opponent has given up hope. They're not even doing anything. Link for it to the Borland. This is BM. You already know what's in their hand. Opponent hitting with the Draw and Lockbird. That is not going to be enough. And Guardian Slime is not going to be enough to protect you from lethal damage. Borland Dragon going to get in, pop the Guardian Slime, and that is going to be game. All right, well, you know what? That was a game. All right, let's go on. Let's go on to the deck list. All right, if you want to send in a better replay, if you think you can do better, send it into my email in the video description. All right, now let's show off the list for ranked. If you can make opponent discard 5 cards from their hand with this list or a similar list, or you find a better combo that makes them discard their whole hand, you let me know, because I am hunting for this. All right, we got 2 Princes. We got triple Divas still the 2 Abyss. We got 2 Maxis, which we fit by taking out a Gishki Vision. And we got 2 Grimnesses, triple Ash Blossom, the Deep Sea Minstrel, still running triple Shadow, triple Atlantean Dragoons is probably necessary. We got the Megalo, we got the Moonland Glacia, we got the Cyclone because we need a level 4 sometimes, 2 copies of the Gust Kraken instead of 3. We squeezed a Nara Madison here because sometimes we want to negate. Go down to 2 Deep Sea Aria, not playing any copies of the Small World because Small World makes you go -1. And, it's hard enough with interaction and all that nonsense to get your deck to work. And if we're doing Small World, we're probably not going to make it to discard 5. So that's why we cut it. We're just hoping to draw Diva or use the Deep Sea Aria. Triple Focused Aqua Mirror to search. We got the Photo Mirror, the Necro Mirror, and the Aqua Mirror, cutting down a lot on the ritual spells because they're all searchable. We got 2 copies of Call by the Grave, 1 Cross Out Designate, 2 Negate. In the extra, we got Tatsunoko Deep Sea Prima Donna, XL Synchro Dragon, Ravenous Croco Dragon, Baron. We got the biggest of Chunguses, Sorto Supreme Sovereign. Psychic and Punisher. We got Sky Cavalry to go into Downer to go into Zeus. We got Marincess Coral, IP Masquerena, Sprite Elf at 1, Appaloosa, and Underworld Goddess. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time with Gishki Goaties.